I want to talk to you guys today about four pillars of my life that I deem to be incredibly important in finding fulfillment in my brand, in my relationships, and in the present moment. And when someone asks me, what does success mean to you, or are you successful? I like to come back to these four key points. And so if you're watching this right now, I would love for you to drop a comment with the word success. And I want you to write what success means to you. And as you're listening to this video, if something resonates, please let me know. Reach out to me via DM or leave a comment so that more people can hear your voice and hear what you have to say on the subject. So success, it's a funny one because a lot of the time we think of success logically as if it's who makes the most money, who maybe for men sleeps with the most women and the most beautiful women, okay, who's got the biggest muscles and nicest six pack, all the trophies behind them in the cabinet, the ClickFunnels award, et cetera, et cetera. Now, on one level, those accolades and awards can bring you a certain amount of fulfillment or gratitude, I'm sure. And on the other hand, they can be very empty at times. And you've really got to question why you're going after those things in your life if they're not actually speaking to your values, your morals, and your true deepest desires. So I like to break it down into these four key pillars. And the first one is freedom. One of the reasons why I left the United States initially was because I had been quite sheltered as a child and was really following that 9 to 5 path of going to high school, then college, then getting a job or another degree and getting married and having children. And to me, that lifestyle seemed quite the antithesis to liberating. It seemed very constricting. And for me, freedom was something else, something more that was out there in the world. And freedom is not just about being in a place where you can speak your truth or walk on the street without wearing a certain garment or something like that. Freedom is true independence to do, think, and feel and go where you please. I think it's ironic that we live in a world where many people and places value democracy and yet restrict our freedom in the name of a monogamous relationship. We restrict our freedom in the name of a job or a client or a business. And usually what happens when we restrict that freedom and it's no longer serving us is we start to create this battle inside, this war that we wage with ourselves, and we start to sacrifice and compromise on our morals and our ethics, on what we truly want. So I've been putting a profound focus once again on freedom in my life and doing really what feels in alignment and what I feel called to do rather than what I feel tied to do. So that's number one. Now, number two is abundance. And abundance is not only in your bank account or in your wallet, but it's also in your mind. And it's something that I talk about a lot in moving from competition to collaboration and seeing the amount of beautiful people out there in the world that think just like you, that you could connect with on a business level, on a romantic level, on a friendship level. But the financial aspect cannot be ignored. There is a certain amount of financial abundance which allows you to live your life freely and allows you to not feel restricted or in pressure or like you're having to compromise, for example. So if you are living a monk mode, nomadic or minimalist lifestyle and you've got the resource in place, that's only because it's a desire, a will. It's not because it's a necessity. And doing things from that desire and will to live minimally or spiritually or however you choose to live is really coming from a place of abundance. So I don't want to say that there's necessarily a certain number amount that is what is helping me to stay in abundance, but definitely when we, just ballpark it and get past the 10, 15, 20K a month, I am kind of giving a number, it can create a certain level of freedom. And maybe to some other people, it's 50 or 100 or a million, but I'm not looking for necessarily $1 million a month to be happy. Just the general requirements to live life on my terms and to choose who I work with and when I work with them and why I work with them, rather than just, well, you're going to pay me, so I'm going to say yes. Nah, shouldn't work like that and it doesn't work like that. And when you do that and you come from that place, it can be very much of a trap and difficult to get out of, and can create a lot of tension in your life on many different levels. And I know that from personal experience in the online entrepreneurial space, building a business where at times I've said yes when I should have said no. Some people have to learn it the hard way. I definitely have had to learn a lot of things the hard way. And it's enabled me to get to a place of newfound perspective so that I can not only help myself, but also help others. The third pillar of success to me, which is so valuable, is peace. Being in a state of peace of mind and peace of body, where my body feels healthy, my mind feels refreshed. I feel like I'm operating from a place of love rather than lack or lust. And any type of struggle is non-existent because I don't see it that way. I've reframed it so that I'm at peace with myself. And something that I learned from being in the personal development world, and I haven't necessarily studied NLP to the depths, but the way we're able to reframe things in our mind is so powerful. It's such a unique aspect of human nature, of mankind. And a lot of us choose to buy into the narrative that society creates for us or that we create for ourselves, when we can really reframe it and choose to see it from a different state or a different lens. And if you choose to reframe your circumstances in your life and what you're going through in a way that actually serves you, the amount of peace that it can bring is pretty profound. So that's something that I put a lot of focus on and that I work on, especially when I'm going through the down periods and I'm looking to come back into that peace of mind. Now, finally, the last pillar that I deem to be success in my life is something that I talk a lot about in my coaching ever since I was, helping guys in their romantic and social lives. It's nothing more than connection. When I feel connected to myself, aware, accepting, loving, grateful, I'm able to connect with others on an incredibly deep level of authenticity, of vulnerability, of purely being rather than trying to do, and being you or being me rather than being completely someone else entirely that the ego is creating. The connections that I have in my life really define a lot about how I operate and where I go. And so creating powerful connections, it's such a game changer. It's what separates you from the rest of society. So really just valuing my connections and questioning which ones are meant to still be there for me in my life and which ones I'm meant to let go of is really, really crucial. And something that when I don't do it every so often, it always comes back and nips me right in the butt, pulls me right down to my knees and humbles me and grounds me and let me question where I'm going and who I'm going there with. It's those four things that to me define success, not necessarily just finances or attraction or fitness. And it's been a massive enabler to be who I'm truly meant to be in my life and connect with the kind of people that I'm meant to connect with. So if you resonate with what I talked about today, I'd like to invite you to drop a comment, to reach out, to let me know your thoughts. And if you don't resonate, also tell me that you think I'm full of shit and you disagree, and that if you ain't making 100K a month, you're a failure. That's fine. Go for it. I won't judge you. I will empathize with you, but keep it respectful, because if you don't, I won't have the time, patience, or energy to keep the connection alive. And let me know if I can support you in any way. I run a 3-month Evolve Your Brand mentorship for conscious entrepreneurs that are looking to take their game to the next level and really redefine what they deem to be success and create balance in their business on the sales, the marketing, and the fulfillment side of things by implementing the right team members, the right systems and processes to take them to the next level. And I've been working with a lot of really awesome coaches, consultants, and freelancers over the last few years, which has been the most difficult thing that I've ever had to do, but also the most fulfilling. So thank you for tuning in to this video and let me know your thoughts.